Cause baby, this is like challenging. All right, let me go and see if this works. Let me go over here and see if it's working. I don't know why it told me to go back. We might be upside down. Hey y'all, hey. We are having technical difficulties because I don't typically go live and I'm having trouble with this orientation. So I am going to, it's not showing me anything. Let me see if I'm live. It says I'm live and we're sideways. Wow. It says I'm live and we're sideways. Wow. It says I'm live and we're sideways. Well, for the sake of time, we're going to just have to keep it this way. I don't want it this way, but what can I do? Because obviously I don't know what I'm doing. It says I'm watching. I'm one watching. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and give people a few moments to perhaps receive notification. We were supposed to start at 6, but I'm having a lot of technical difficulties. So let me go to my community tab and put down that we're live because I don't know. I just see myself. See that one? That's me. And we just might be talking to an audience of 0 like I did yesterday. I had a total of 0 people yesterday. Tech difficulties. We are now live. We are now live. Sharing our Jamaica vacation. Sharing our resort review of our Jamaica Christmas family vacation. All right, so let's post it. And so, all right, so let's get started. So welcome to our live. It is Karen Sawyer with her sidekick, Mark. And so we've decided to come live to share our review of the resort we stayed at for our Christmas family vacation in Jamaica. So I did a live yesterday sharing that I was exploring and experimenting with live, and I will attempt I am on a challenge to go live every day for 30 minutes. No, did I say 30 minutes or an hour? I don't remember what I had originally said, but the bottom line is live every day for the month of January, just to get an idea as to if it's something my audience, my current subscribers are interested in, to see if it makes a difference. I don't know, but we're gonna just try it out. Well, not we, because he's just joining me as a guest today. I will be doing it alone. So we are coming this evening to give you a review of the resort that we stayed at, as I just mentioned, in Jamaica. And if you happen to come across this live and you're not currently subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and come back and visit us again. So we're going to talk a little bit about the hotel, what our initial our initial opinion, is that the word I'm looking for, of the resort once we arrived. So we stayed at the Holiday Inn Resort. Now that alone, the Holiday Inn, that brand, I would say I am not a Holiday Inn person. I'm definitely not their target audience. However, when you add the word resort on the end, I thought that perhaps it would be maybe some upscale maybe I've never been to a Holiday Inn resort. So I had the expectation, as soon as you say resort, that perhaps it would be a little bit more than what I would typically expect. And my travel agent recommended this resort. So upon our arrival, my initial well, first of all, let's talk about where it was. So Holiday Inn Resort in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Montego Bay, Jamaica. So my first impression is when we got there, it was kind of small because we had to come in the gate and then turn around to come back. So I just felt that it was kind of small. That was my initial response. And I was not impressed with the lobby. Now, we've been to Jamaica before, and when we got there, it was big. There was no one having to go in the gate, and well, it was a gate all the way back somewhere though. There wasn't like it was a tight fit where they had to kind of do a U-turn to come up to the entrance. So when we were in Jamaica before, we did nothing. We absolutely received luxury. When we arrived, they handled all of our luggage. We didn't do anything. They also met us with drinks, and they also met us with cold face cloths so that we can cool off. And then they had us sit in the lobby and they checked us in. That was not our experience on this one. When we got there, we had to go to the back of the tour bus. Is that what you call it? Our transfer. We had it's something like it's not a minivan, but it was what got us from the airport to the resort. So we got to the back to get our luggage. We drug our own luggage in, and and we got in a line. There was a big difference from what I have been accustomed to. So that was my initial response, was that this resort ain't gonna work for me. But I'm gonna give it a chance because we were with our family. So it was a total of 8 of us. So we have 5 young men, and then our oldest son brought his girlfriend. So we were a group of 8. So this wasn't just about marking myself. We normally do these resorts alone. So I said, well, self, this is not about a couples thing. This is a family thing. So take it down 1,000. But my initial impression was I was not impressed. But that's just me. But I said, give it a chance. And they did meet us with a drink. But what was that drink?
Guava juice.
Guava juice.
Like
they came out with a tray and gave it to everyone in line. Okay. So that was my initial impression. What was yours?
Initially,
Hey, kick it with Alvin. Thank you. I had some trouble with tech, but so my phone is not the way I wanted it to be. Let me see. Can you hear me? Let me see if my volume's up. My volume's down. Let me turn my volume up. So I had to end that stream, come back in, try to fix it, didn't work, but we're gonna make it work. We're gonna do it this way, and I'm gonna have to do a little tester and try this again because I really want my phone to be landscape. But okay, we're here. So thank you so much for joining us. So Mark, go ahead. What was your initial impression of the Holiday Inn Resort in Montego Bay, Jamaica?
it was definitely a little tight coming in. Normally, there's like a long driveway off of the main road. This was situated parallel right to the main road, so it was tight coming in. Um, I thought the lobby it was okay. It was definitely a different check-in experience for sure. The overall resort, in terms of the space, the area that it encompasses, I wouldn't say it was small. I think it's a pretty large size. It's just a long rectangle, but it does go pretty far in both ways. Um, so that the size of that, my first impression was okay. I mean, I always kind of wait until we get into the room to
Mm.
to really give a
Mm.
an impression. So
Okay.
if you want to go to the rooms,
Well, go for it. I'm gonna let you go ahead because you know. So then from there, okay. So when we checked in, we had to wait in a line, right? And so I'm gonna let y'all know what I did when I checked in because I noticed that some people had been waiting for their rooms, and I said, "Oh no, I did not come here to have to sit and wait for rooms." So there was a few people I noticed waiting. So I said to the lady, I said, "Hi." I introduced myself. I just want to let you know in advance that I am a social media influencer. He started shaking his head. So that when you see me walking around your resort and I'm recording, so that you are not wondering what I'm doing, I'm letting you know in advance that I will be leaving a review. Again, I am a social media influencer and I would like to be sure that I am satisfied with my accommodations. So I did tell her that she did win. I think she pulled over some manager, blah, 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 blah. And we had 3 rooms, 8 of us with 3 rooms. So I got my room keys immediately. And that is true. So I did let her know that. So from there was a bellman and that put all of our luggage on a what's called a thing? Uh
let's call it a cart.
a cart. Cart. And so then he went ahead and took us to our rooms. And then what was your impression when we got to the room?
Well, my impression of the room, we knew we were getting garden view, so we didn't have ocean view. We haven't talked about the price yet, but there's a reason that we got garden view for this time of the year because of the price. Um, but I thought it was clean when we walked in for the most part. The bathroom was small. The door, you could hardly open the door all the way, and you definitely could not shut it all the way. So it would have been a problem if you were in a room where you definitely needed privacy in the bathroom and you weren't with your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend because you could not fully close the bathroom door. The next thing that, again, maybe you were spoiled, we enjoy the all inclusive resorts, and that normally means for us that they have a refrigerator. Now, I'd like to have a refrigerator even if they don't put anything in it, but normally the all inclusive resorts have water, soda, beer, maybe some snacks in the refrigerator. But we didn't even have an empty refrigerator or a microwave.
None. Now
So,
most of them don't have microwaves.
and that's fine.
They all have the refrigerator stocked with beverages and snacks. Okay, so and then
So, that kind of was a bummer right away. Um, Other than that, I didn't have a real big problem with the room because we're in the room to sleep most for the most part. But that refrigerator would have been nice. How
okay.
about you?
So when we walked in, the first thing I noticed is it smelled like mildew.
Well,
It smelled horrible. It smelled wet, damp, whatever, and it was freezing cold. And so that was my very first thing was like, oh my gosh, what is the smell? So that was the first thing. Then I walked into the bathroom and it was very tiny. Barely one person can get in there comfortably and sit on the toilet. Like the door, when you open that door, your knees gonna be right at the door. That's how little that bathroom was. So that was the very first thing after the smell was the bathroom, and the daggone door was almost off the hinges. Now, yeah, it was not all the way on the hinges. So that was what I noticed. So then I walked all the way into the room and I noticed there was no refrigerator. I'm like, wow, there's no refrigerator. So that was the second thing. And then I found the remote for the air conditioner and then saw that there was a deck and noticed all the rust on the curtains because I pay attention to detail. Then sat on the bed. The bed was soaking wet. The bed was wet. So I then went out on the deck and oh, wait a minute. Before I went on the deck, there is a little sofa. It's soiled. The sofa is soiled and dirty. I'm like, who would want to sit on that? Don't even know if it had a pull out bed. Have no idea. Didn't try it. I didn't sit on it. I sat my luggage on it, but I didn't sit on it because it was soiled. It was dirty. They clearly need renovations. Then I went onto the deck and I wasn't pleased with the furniture on the deck. That ugly, dirty plastic furniture. Then I came back in and I turned on the TV. Guess what? All you're getting is static and snow on the TV channels. Now I can see a little bit, but not a whole lot. Now my children said they couldn't get anything on their TVs, and my other son either. And it was a big screen TV, but so and what if there's you can't see it, you can't watch it. So that was my impression of the room. And the elevator floor was dirt. I pay attention to detail. And so, yeah, I wasn't impressed. So that was the impression when we arrived in the lobby area and then on took us upstairs to our rooms. And it would have been nice if me and all my kids could have been on the same floor, but it didn't happen. So my older son and his girlfriend were on the same floor as my husband and I, and then our other kids, it was four of them were down one floor below us. And so they all complained about the wet room and the smell and their TV. They don't know anything about there not being a refrigerator because 4 out of the 5 of our sons had never been to an all-inclusive resort. This is their first time traveling out of the country. And unfortunately for me, this had to be their first experience, but it is what it is. So that was the room details. It was clean. I can say it was clean. Could have been, well, it wasn't pristine, but it was clean. Okay. So then from there, I guess we can talk about the whole dining experience. So they had the buffet, which is right off the main lobby. And that's where you go every day for your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner if you choose to. Then they had restaurants that you had to make reservations for, which we're accustomed to doing when we go on all inclusive resorts. Before I get into a review of each restaurant, though, I'm going to tell you what they were. So we had the buffet, then you had an Italian restaurant, then you had a seafood restaurant, then you had a Jamaican restaurant, and then you had the Japanese restaurant. Okay, so there are 5 restaurants on the property, and you needed an appointment for all 5. Now, although you make the reservation, there's no fee except for the Japanese. The Japanese restaurant was not included in all inclusive. You had to pay $30,
29
$29, $30
per person.
per person. So, needless to say, we did not eat in the Japanese restaurant. So we had dinner every night in the restaurants except for one night or 2 nights. 2 nights we ate at the buffet.
First and last.
So let's talk about the buffet. So the buffet, I wasn't impressed with the food, but there was a lot of food. There were many options, but I cannot tell you that that food was that good. It was, I don't even know what to say. How would you describe the food? So they had a salad bar. They had desserts. They had a carving station, but I don't eat meat. I'm a pescatarian, so I eat fish. So they had a carving station. They did have for breakfast an omelet station that I appreciated because that's what I ate most of the time for breakfast. So that was good. And then their food, I don't know. Tell them about the food because
I mean, in my experience with the food, we had breakfast there pretty much every day. I managed because I had scrambled eggs and either sausage or bacon and some type of potatoes each day. I didn't personally like their pancakes. I couldn't stand their French toast. It was horrible.
Oh, you didn't like the French toast?
Sure
I did because it was real thick.
That's right.
Very, very thick.
It was poor man's French toast to me, but whatever you say.
Okay.
And then they had a few other things. Just wasn't for me. I managed because I had eggs, bacon or sausage, and potatoes each day.
Okay.
We went to lunch. I only ate in their lunch one day. And it was okay. I managed to find enough. The thing is, I managed to find enough, but there was not a variety that I was impressed with or that I liked. But I did manage every time to at least find a protein. I didn't even find a vegetable every day, and a potato in most cases. They did have rice. The rice was okay, but they had I just wasn't impressed with the selection.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, me neither. I don't even know what else to say. Now you did have fried chicken one day. You said it was good.
Fried chicken was good.
Okay, so he did say that was good.
Desserts. I'm a dessert person. There was only one night that they had something that I actually liked. Most of the other stuff was just small,
Little piece of cake.
individual little things that just I didn't like them. It just didn't taste good to me. The only one I did like was when they had basically like a whole sheet cake one night, that I did enjoy. But other than that, there wasn't soft serve ice cream.
And even the soda, they had soda machines, y'all. The sodas was flat.
Most of the time was flat.
So then I said, okay, you don't have business drinking no sodas. Why don't you drink some juice? So they did have like these glass containers, looks like juice, fresh squeezed juices or whatever, or a mix. I don't know if they were concentrated, but they weren't even good. They were horrible. And so I just wasn't impressed. What did I eat? Other than the omelet for breakfast, what did I eat for lunch? Oh, that even go.
Some type of fish.
Oh, some kind of fish. I did, and it was dried out. I don't even know what kind of fish it was. Dry, it was overcooked. So again, if you're just joining, we went to the Holiday Inn Resort in Montego Bay, Jamaica, and we're giving a review. We've talked about our impression upon our arrival. We talked about the amenities in the rooms, and now we're talking about the food, our dining experience. So the buffet, we didn't do a lot. We did every day for breakfast, obviously, if we got up in time for breakfast. And then our dinner. Let's talk about the dinners and the restaurants because that was a better experience. So my favorite restaurant was the Jamaican. I absolutely loved it. What did I have? Because I don't even remember what it was now. It was a piece of fish. What kind of fish was it? Y'all, and I discovered something. I think it's called escovitch. Is that what's the name?
Something like that.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna make this.
I think it was red snapper.
Oh, red snapper. And I had the Johnny cake with
saltfish.
Saltfish with Johnny cake underneath. OMG, was that good. So escovitch, I think I'm saying the name right, is a pickled onions, carrots, and peppers, something like that. If you look it up, you'll find it. So that was delicious. So that was my new find. I did not have that when we were in Jamaica before, and that was delicious. So I had that, and then what was my dessert? Don't remember, but it was delicious. I can't remember what it was, but that was my personal favorite. But I think I'm the only one that really liked the Jamaican restaurant. What was your impression of the Jamaican restaurant, and what did you have if you remember? So I had a piece of fish, and I had fish twice, and then I had the saltfish on the Johnny cake, and I don't remember the dessert.
I had a chicken dish, and it was not jerk chicken. They did not have jerk chicken.
Crazy Jamaica restaurant, but maybe it's because there was a Jamaica hut on the resort that you could get jerk chicken and jerk pork for lunch. So maybe that's why they didn't have jerk chicken in the restaurant.
Could be.
Okay.
I did have enough at the hut.
Yes, and they gave you a good portion at the hut.
And you could Get more if you want it.
And you can go back and get
like
more.
That portion.
So, okay, so we forgot to talk about that as an additional restaurant. And the other spot where you could get grilled cheese, French fries, hot dogs, and hamburgers. So that's the other one that's on the resort. And that's open to 10 at night.
Yeah.
They take a break in between.
No, they're open till 6, and then they open back up. It's like 12 to 6, and then 10 to 1.
Okay.
That place, the Jerk Hut's only open from 12 to 6.
Okay, so what was your opinion on the? Are you sleepy? You look like it. Are you sleepy? All right. What was your impression or opinion on the Jamaican restaurant?
The Jamaican restaurant was okay. I wasn't overly impressed. I had a chicken dish. I can't even remember. It was stuffed with ackee, and I forgot the name of it, but it's very similar to spinach, which is one of their vegetables of choice in Jamaica. I forgot it's not tasso. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
And the flavors were good. I had a sweet potato pudding dessert, which was like a super dense cake, which was surprising. Didn't taste horrible, but wasn't what I expected. My favorite restaurant was the Italian restaurant.
Okay, so let's talk about the Italian restaurant.
I didn't care for the seafood restaurant at all myself.
Oh, I did, y'all. I ordered a piece of salmon at the seafood restaurant, and I didn't eat it at all because it didn't have any flavor. It looked like a great piece of salmon, but and then what did I have with it? Rice. I wound up giving it to my kids. I didn't eat it at all. We left, and so and then you had the surf and turf, and they didn't cook his steak right, so he sent it back. And by the time they brought it back to him, he already ate the lobster, so he wound up giving his steak to his kids.
And at the seafood restaurant, the only seafood they really had was fish. I'm not a big fish eater. I can eat some, but I'm not a big fish eater. So to get lobster, shrimp, or steak, you had to pay extra for that.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yup.
So that was a $39 charge.
No,
and I did that because I didn't care for just fish.
And you weren't even impressed with that.
And I sure wasn't impressed with spending that $39. I would have rather have not eaten, actually.
Or you could have went to the buffet.
Or went to the buffet.
So we talked to them about the Jamaica restaurant, the Italian restaurant, the seafood restaurant, and then which one I'm missing?
We didn't go to the Japanese. So.
Oh, that was it? Yeah. Oh, and the buffet. So yeah, so that was our experience with the food. Again, they did have the Jamaica hut where you can get jerk pork and jerk chicken. And it comes with a slice of bread. The lines are super long when it opens, so you should go a little bit later if you go. They do have some seating at the hut. Otherwise, you can just take it and go back to the dining room. Or if you want to go to the adult pool, there are tables over there that you can take it to. Or if you go back to the main pool, there are lounge chairs but no tables. So then you can go wherever you want. And all you can eat because it's all inclusive. So that was good. And then again, you have the station, they call it Barefoot. And that's where you have hot dogs, hamburgers, grilled cheese, French fries. And that's open to like 10 at night. And what's funny?
We just did the times.
And then
12 to 6.
12 to 6.
And then 10 to 1.
10 to 1. Oh, to 1 in the morning. Sorry, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then was there anywhere else to get food? And someone had some soft serve ice cream. Was it the Barefoot?
No, it was in between the Jerk Hut and Barefoot. There was a kid's place that had nachos, hot dogs, and soft serve ice cream.
Okay.
Which, let's take the word cream off of it. It was ice. I don't even want to say.
Oh, you had
ice.
one.
I don't even want to say it was ice milk. It was more like ice, like flavored ice. That resembled ice cream. I had eggnog. My son had a strawberry. That's the only people that I know had it, and they both tasted sort of like medicine.
Oh, God.
Like the strawberry was sort of like Pepto-Bismol.
Oh.
I don't even know what kind of medicine my eggnog was, but
Yeah, so y'all, that is our review about the dining. So let's talk about the recreation. Okay,
How about the alcohol?
we want to talk about the alcohol. Let's talk about the alcohol. So they had the main bar, and then they had a bar at the adult pool. And is that the only two bars?
There was a bar at the Barefoot. That was a bar as well.
Oh, a bar at the Barefoot, and
So
then
basically at the pool.
and then at the Jerk Hut, you could get beer.
Right.
So
you get drinks at the beer. You can get drinks there too.
So the main lobby area, those drinks were watered down. I don't know how else to say it to you.
Pretty much sure they all were. It was either watered down or the cheapest liquor you could find.
I swear to you, it shouldn't take me 6 drinks and I still feel nothing. So I said, well, this ain't working. And then they had, the frozen strawberry daiquiri and the pina colada. At some point, all that sugar gonna mess your stomach up. So I said, well, this ain't gonna work. So I got hip and started doing the mimosas. And then I could feel that because I know you're not watering that champagne down. So that worked for me. But the drinks were watered down. Now I can tell you this. Oh, their specialty drink was the rum punch. Even that wasn't hitting. But when I went to the adult pool and got it from over there, I could feel it. So I said to the bartender, why is your drinks over here different than over there? He says, because each bartender makes their own drinks. So they pre-mix it or whatever, and they have them in these jugs. But you can definitely feel the difference at the bar over at the adult pool. Now, we didn't mention this. Typically, when we go to these all-inclusive resorts, we go to all adults only. We did not do adults only. My twins are 19. I wasn't sure if I could do that. And cost. Those adult only resorts were costly because it was Christmas, y'all. We went for Christmas. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the stuff being watered down because it's a family resort. I don't know, but they were watered down. So what would you like to say about the alcohol? Is there anything else or that's it?
Yep.
And then with the mimosas, it was like they only had a little bit of champagne. So depending on when I went to the bar would determine if I could get one or not. So sometimes I go and they say, oh, we didn't get any champagne yet. Or then you go and I get some and that's the last bit of the champagne in that bottle. So I'm just SOL. So there went that. So I didn't even get to really enjoy getting my drink on like I do when we go to the other resorts. So that was the alcohol. So let's talk about the recreation because when we go to these all-inclusive resorts, I am not looking for the recreation stuff because that's not what I do. I like to smell water. I like to hear the water. I like to lounge by the water and have me a nice cocktail, but I'm not trying to play in the water, meaning the ocean. I will enjoy a pool bar. If there's a bar, I'm getting in the pool. But the only reason I'm getting in that pool, let's get it real straight. Let's get it clear. The only reason I'm getting in the pool is because they have a bar. If they don't have a bar, I'm not getting in the pool. So you tell them about the recreation. Hey, Miss T.
What do you mean recreation? You talking about
their little boats, things, or whatever they had?
They had kayaks. They had some paddle boats. That was about it. Which was fine if that was something that you wanted to do. I remember my favorite thing about Jamaica the first time we went and stayed in Montego Bay at Secret St. James was swimming in the ocean.
Yes.
I did it every day, and it was just fantastic water. This area, no matter where I went, it was you would be swimming, and all of a sudden it's a sandbar, and then you go another place, and it's a hole. It was like you weren't stepping on sand, you were stepping in mud. It felt like mud. There was seagrass everywhere that, from time to time felt like it was cutting your legs. Um, then we went over to the adult only island, little island that they had, and I figured I'd go out in front of there. I went out in front of there. It was extremely dangerous because it was rocky as anything. There wasn't hardly any sand there at all. And because that's the only place where there were waves that I could actually get to a wave because they were all breaking further out because it was so shallow where we were. So, and of course, you couldn't get out certain places because they had lines up with buoys that you couldn't go past.
But you went past the buoy, though, didn't you?
Of course.
Because your children came back and told me. And they said, Dad doesn't follow directions. I said, you just finding that out? That's exactly what they said. And Davon, when I say kids, Davon's 29. He just turned 29, right? Or 28. He just had a birthday, December 30th. I don't remember, he's 28, 29. He said, he just picked up the buoys. I said, Davon, you just figuring out he don't follow rules. He said, and he said to me, you're not coming? He said, I said, no, I'm not going. Exactly. But okay, go ahead. So them buoys are there, but you still picked them up and did what you wanted to do.
I can't help but if they're scared.
All right, whatever.
I mean,
he said there's a
get
reason.
Out and swim.
He said there's a reason that they're there. I said, I know this. Okay. But hey, go ahead. So I don't know why the buoy's a problem, because you did it anyway. All right. So what about it? So go ahead.
And the only area I thought I could get to waves, it was extremely dangerous because it was rocky, and I had to hurry up and get the heck out of there. I scratched up my leg.
That's why the buoy was there, y'all.
I didn't go outside of the buoy for that.
Okay. All right, go ahead. What happened when you lift up the buoy?
Well, maybe it was.
Exactly. Okay. And then what? So the water sucked.
Yeah, I was not impressed with the ocean at all. I mean, it felt great.
Then y'all got the kayaks. Y'all got on the kayak.
We did the kayak.
How long did you get to do that? Like, do they tell you 30 minutes rental? Or
no, they have a little course they tell you to go up and back, and that was it.
And that was it. Okay.
It wasn't very long.
Okay.
And you really couldn't go and just explore the way you wanted to.
Okay.
With the kayaks.
And how about that other boat I saw? I don't know what that big boat thing was.
You never saw
the windsurfer thing? I saw 2 of those. Okay, and that was about the only recreation? Okay, as far as the water.
All non-motorized, yes.
Non-motorized. Okay, then they had a pool table. And they had, what's that, foosball? Foosball. And pool.
You said pool. Ping pong.
Ping pong. That was the 3 things. Y'all, if you could get to it, remember,
get to it.
Because it was kids. See, y'all, if you have kids, this will work for you. But if your kids can get to those tables, because it seemed like it was the same kids hogging it up the whole time. So he really loves ping pong. Couldn't even get to it to play because there was always kids all over. So that's the only things they had. And only 1 pool table, only 1 ping pong table, and only 1 foosball. That's it. That's all. That's all you was getting. Okay? They did have a nice gym. I got to see on the outside. I didn't go in because the guy said, oh, you can't record in there because there's people in there, whatever. It was a little security guard. So
there's people everywhere.
Exactly. There's people everywhere and I'm recording, right? So whatever. So the night before I noticed it and there was no one in there, but we were coming from dinner, so I didn't go in. But I was able to see the full view of it from the outside. They had a lot of weights. So if you're into weights, then that would be a great workout room if you want to be on your exercise while you're on vacation. They did have the chess, a big outdoor chess board. They did have tennis courts.
Yeah, I didn't get to see what they looked like. Hopefully they had nets because the basketball.
They did. I saw people playing tennis.
The 1 basketball hoop on the full-size court, there was only 1 hoop, did not have a net.
And then lastly, we didn't talk about the jacuzzis. So they had 2. One in the adult only pool that was half working and it wasn't hot and very small. Maybe 6 people could get in it.
Maybe if you like each other.
And then they had a really big one over by the main pool, but I didn't get in it because I heard it wasn't hot. And then the sun was beaming right down on you. And how can you enjoy that when it's right at the main area with all them kids ripping and running? And they had a spa. So I did go to the spa. They went and did an excursion on a day that I didn't want to go do the excursion they were doing. So I did go get a massage in the spa. It's a small spa, but the massage was nice. But I met a lady that said her and her daughter got a massage, but you can make your reservation to get it on the ocean, on the beach, on the water, whatever you call it. I don't know. Do they call it the beach? So to get on the beach, she said, you know what sucked about it? She said, my daughter doesn't like kids. So I probably shouldn't have came to this resort. Like I'm including myself in that. She said, and it was her daughter's first experience with a massage. And she said the whole time they got their hour massage, all you do is hear all these kids ripping and running. And so she said the masseuse said, I am so sorry about the kids. And she said, I was wondering why he didn't shoo them away. She said it just ruined the whole experience. So I just wanted to add that if you go to this resort, because money's tight, we'll talk about money, don't get your massage by the beach because you think it's going to be, romantic with your loved one. No, don't do it. Just go get it inside the spa. So that completes that. Before we give you some travel tips about the resort. Oh, y'all, there's stray cats all over the resort. Now, we've been to several all-inclusive resorts. I don't remember seeing those stray cats. However, the lady, the representative for the travel place, what's it called? I forgot the name of it. Amstar. The representative. She said that she's worked several resorts and there are stray cats. I don't recall seeing stray cats at all. Y'all, there are so many stray cats now. The guests are petting them. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They're feeding them. And there was even two kids that now picked up one of them stray cats and had it in the dining area on top of a table. My son, Caleb, 23, says, oh my God, I don't like this at all. Them parasites and stuff. He's talking about them cats all up on the table. Y'all, that's disgusting. Disgusting. She said, did it smell like cats? No, I didn't smell no cat. Oh, you said something about a litter box. So that's another thing. Right next to the ocean, down on the adult side, because y'all had to get away from the kids. I went down to the adult side. They had what you would call cabanas, right? And they have lounge chairs and a little table. And then it's kind of like in a little cabana, but it's full of sand. And my son said, these ain't nothing but cat litter boxes. I said, well, damn, he now ruined my experience with this because I started thinking about it. And I'm like, you're right. What? Y'all. He said, these are big cat litter boxes. So that was that for me. So I was like, wow. So yeah, that is my experience of the Holiday Inn Resort in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Now, I told you that 4 out of our 5 sons had never been out of the country. This is their first time at an all-inclusive resort. And this was not cheap, y'all, because it's Christmas. This is our very first time traveling for Christmas. We've always spent our family Christmas at home. But now that the twins, which are our babies, right, are no longer babies because they're 19. We said last year because it was so boring, we just looking at each other, let's not do this no more. Let's go away. So I said, okay, bet. Let's go away for Christmas. Well, we've never done that before. So it's expensive to travel for Christmas. Everyone has inflated their prices. And so, woo, yeah, it was expensive. So I felt like we not invested because it's an investment. All this money and time, and this is the experience. So I happened to go on Facebook, and a friend of mine had just came back from Jamaica, and he checked in, and he said, blah, blah, blah. I said, yo, this resort sucks. He said, take them to Chukka. And he said, that's an excursion. So I said, okay. I said, let's do that. And he said it was ATVs and zip lining and the catamaran party boat and horseback ride. He started naming stuff. I said, that's what I'm gonna have to do. That's more money, but it will save the trip because I want them to have great memories, right? Because these are memories that we're making, right? So we decided to do the trucker, but once again, y'all, that's more money. But I had to figure out something to save the day because they were bored at this resort. And then the twins, they were looking forward to drinking because they already looked up the information and said, hey, we could drink in Jamaica because if you're 18, you can drink. And I said, oh my gosh, that's all they was looking forward to. So, okay, I'm like, you know what? I know you already drinking, your college kids. whatever. They was looking forward to that. Well, remember the drinks is watered down, right? And then after a day of drinking, and Kobe started drinking wine, all kinds of stuff. Them drinks wasn't hitting, so they was bored. So I'm like, what am I gonna do to save the day? So we decided to go to Chuck. And so you had Chukka, and there was another resort, but this other resort is 2 hour travel. That's 4 hours round trip. So when he told me about Chukka, Chukka's only 45 minutes away. So I decided, let's do that. But they decided to do another excursion the day before. Tell them about your excursion and what was the name of it, because that was 4 hours round trip.
So when we went to Jamaica the first time, I was interested in a place called Dunn's Falls, which is basically just like you would think, falls that are, water cascading over a bunch of rocks, and you could get into it and enjoy the water and the scenery. So I had heard about that the first time we went. I think one of our friends that was there last time, I think Tawanda actually went there. She said on one of the days.
Okay.
So I wanted to do that. So we looked, and they had a double excursion. It was a place called Blue Hole. You went there first, and then you had lunch, and then you went to Dunn's Falls. So we did that one, and that was we were in Montego Bay, and we had to drive to Ocho Rios, which was about an hour, maybe a little less, but right around an hour drive time, 55 minutes, something like that. So that wasn't bad at all, and we had our tour guide basically talked the whole way there. So, you get to learn a little bit more about the culture. She pointed out sites as we went, which is interesting.
Blue Hole. Yeah, that's a weird name, Blue Hole. But go ahead.
You get out into the country, you see the towns, you see people, you get to see a little bit more of what the culture looks like besides just being on the resort.
Right.
So I enjoy doing those things when we go to different places, particularly other countries. So the first place that we went was an area where you did a little bit of walking, and all of a sudden you get in and you can see sort of like, I'm trying to think of what they're calling them.
You got an ass behind your head. Go ahead.
It's a horse.
That's they said they like the horse. Go ahead.
It's not.
All right, whatever. Go ahead.
Donkey.
All right, whatever. Go ahead.
They were basically like, I guess supposedly this came from a natural spring. So there were different pools of water that you had to kind of climb up to get to. And we went to two different pools where you were able to, one was a small jump. When I say small, it was 5 or 6 feet. So it was a nice ledge that you could jump into the water. It was deep.
That's why I didn't go see y'all. I went and got a massage.
And it was cold. It was definitely spring. But it was really nice water. And a little bit more traveling around. There was different places that you could take pictures. Of course, they sold waterproof cases that you could carry that were clear, that you could keep your phone in and still take pictures through the waterproof cases.
And you didn't get one because he don't take pictures or video. But okay, go ahead.
Did I get any pictures for you?
You paid somebody else to do them.
I didn't pay.
Well, who did them?
I asked somebody to take pictures.
Oh,
and they sent them to us.
Okay, gotcha. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, my bad. Go ahead. With their phone, with their waterproof thing. Exactly. So y'all, he didn't buy the waterproof thing to put his phone in. So some stranger that he met at the hole had the waterproof case for their phone. He asked this stranger to take video and pictures on their phone and send it to him. Now, they don't make no damn sense.
It's called tit for tat.
What was your tat then?
He was by himself, and he asked us to take pictures of him.
Oh. With his phone, though?
Yeah.
And so then you said, can you take some for us with your phone, too?
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God. No, go ahead. Wow. I did not realize you had did that to this moment.
Then you don't listen to me because I told you.
Well, whatever. We're even. Go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead. He got it done, though. That's right. He did.
If we're keeping score, I'm not sure we're even. But okay.
All right, whatever. Go ahead.
So then we went to the same place at Blue Hole. There was a higher jump, which they're trying to say was 7, 8 feet. But when you get in the water and you look up and you look to the side, it's more like 12 feet. So it was a pretty nice jump.
And I wouldn't did
And
it.
more people did not get in or jump from that hole. And
Mhm.
you didn't have to jump. You could climb down and get in the water yourself. And then they had a rope swing, which again brings back memories from what I used to
I
do
wouldn't did that either.
when I was a teenager and used to go to a quarry where you hold on to the rope swing, you swing out and you kind of let go and that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun. Again, you have to like water. So the people that didn't like water didn't go there.
I like water too, as long as I can
You
sit
like-
at the bar
you
and
like-
have a drink.
You like to look at water. You
I
could look,
do.
You could go sit in the bathroom on the toilet and look at the tub. You don't have to go to Jamaica to look at the water.
No, that's not true. I like to smell the ocean and I love to hear it. So yeah, but I no. Okay, so y'all did that.
Then we had lunch on both of our excursions. Believe me, I got enough jerk chicken because the lunch were the same at the two different places that we went. It was jerk chicken and rice and peas,
And
which,
red stripe beer.
which again is fine because I enjoyed it. I could eat the jerk chicken every day myself. So
I don't eat chicken, y'all. So, but go ahead.
So the lunch was fine. Then we went to Dunge River. Now, compared to the first place was a little bit more natural. Dunge Rivers was a huge place. There were a lot of locals there, and you looked like you were going to an amusement park, not with the rides, but I mean a lot of concrete paved areas, and basically with that, if you went by yourself, you were just kind of free to do what you wanted to. Because we signed up and went with an excursion with a group, um, we had a tour guide. Matter of fact, we had three of them that helped you along the way. So basically, what we did is we started by walking down a bunch of steps to go down, and we ended up at the beach, which again is right by ocean water, and the falls actually emptied into the ocean. So we started at the bottom and we basically climbed the whole inside of the falls all the way up to the top. So, and I was wondering what they meant when they said hiking. They said there was a lot of hiking involved. That was another reason this young lady didn't go. You say hike, pretty much any type of exercise.
Don't play with me. Do not play with me because I am the Zumba queen. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. And don't and talk for yourself. Talking to me about some exercise. Don't play with me. So see, you always do this when we got company. And someone wanted to know, was the food good?
Where?
You start talking about all that water, you get all excited.
What food? We already talked about.
They
food.
said, was it good though? You said you had it, but was it good?
Which
The
jerk chicken lunch on both days was very good. Jerk chicken, rice and peas. To me, you can't go wrong with that.
And then they were accommodating when we went to Chucka. We didn't talk about Chucka yet. The second excursion, they were accommodating because I said, "Do you have any type of vegetarian options?" I said, "I don't know if I said vegetarian or pescatarian." I said, "I don't eat chicken." She said, "Are you pescatarian?" I said, "Yes." So she sent me to another line, and they made me some fish, and it had my escovitch on it, and then I had the what you call them peas and rice. And so that was good. It wasn't jerk fish. I would have liked it, but it is what it is.
Exactly. So I'll finish up since I'm taking so long.
You're not taking a long time. Go ahead.
But basically, because again, it was the first time we were all at the falls, we did a lot of kind of holding hands and the person in front of you helping you because you actually walked through running falls. You had to have water shoes on to make sure that it wasn't slippery. But it was a lot of fun. Again, I know that the four people that did not go on our excursion would not have had a good time. So I'm glad they didn't go.
So yeah, who didn't go? I didn't go.
Trayvon,
Davon, and Caleb. So three of my sons and myself stayed at the resort. I got a massage today. I don't know what they did, but okay, go ahead.
Because it was a lot of getting in and out of water. They did a lot of stopping for taking pictures. They actually had a person that traveled with you that did a video of your entire adventure because we were with a group of people.
Wait a minute, did you get the video of the entire adventure?
Yeah, I don't know if we paid for it. It was actually, which I don't feel like was.
Where is it?
Colby has it. Colby says he has it.
How much did that cost?
It was $40
Woo-wee!
for
Okay, go ahead.
you had individual pictures of your group, and you got the full length video of the whole, which probably it should be like a 45-minute video.
45, that's a whole, y'all, that's a whole daggone video
Post.
to share on my channel. 45-minute video, $40. Oh, I'm gonna find that. Okay, go ahead. I'm
And
sorry.
we stopped, and you get to lean back in the water and have it run on your shoulders. They took our time. So we went through the whole falls, which was a whole uphill experience. To me, it was worth it.
How much was it per
I
person?
love that adventure. I have no idea. I think the tour for both of those, I think it was like $85 a person.
Per person? Good God Almighty. $85 a person. That's for y'all. Lord have mercy. Okay, that was for the whole day and included lunch.
Yeah.
And that was your transfers to and fro. Okay. On top of the money that we spent for the trip, on top of the next day, we did more excursions and I did a massage. Okay, go ahead.
You mean the Chukka trip that was like $135 a person?
Woo-wee! I ain't know because I ain't paid for it.
Yeah,
and it was
of
8
course.
of us. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Wait a minute. Wow. Okay, so what was that black hole? I mean, blue hole. Blue hole.
I didn't see any black holes.
The blue hole was called Ocho Rios. What was the name of the place? Dunn's Falls.
Yes.
Okay, and that was 2 places, right?
Yes.
Okay, got you. So you thought it was worth the $85?
Yes.
Okay, and then it took you 2 hours to and fro, 4
Mhm.
hours of your day. And what time did you have to be ready?
We left that day at 8:30.
See, y'all, I'm on vacation. I'm not trying to have to get up to go get on no excursion, and so you leaving at 8:30. So you have to get up and get down there. That's too. And then you ate before you left.
I did.
So you had to get up because you got up at 7 o'clock, right?
Mhm.
He got up at 7 o'clock. You had to get yourself bathe, shower, whatever you decided to do, and then you went to go eat, and then go ready on. That's too. You're on vacation. I'm not getting up at no 7 o'clock.
Really? What time did you get up to? What time was the Chukka tour? What time did we leave the hotel?
Tell me, because I don't remember. 7.
7 a.m.
Woo! Wheel. But the only reason I did that is because I was trying to save the day. This resort sucked, in my opinion. And I wanted my kids to have a good time. I wanted them to have great memories. So I agreed to take one for the team because I don't like excursions. So I had to get up and be down there at 7, but we didn't eat breakfast because it doesn't open till what, 7:30?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. So does that complete your Dunn's Falls review?
Absolutely.
Okay. So then the next day, wasn't the next day?
It was.
We went to Chukka. Again, someone told me about Chukka, and what I liked about Chukka was that it was only 45 minutes. And then the tour guide, driver, he told us a little bit about where we were going, but we had already seen that.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I did get it wrong because our trip was an hour and 45-minute ride. That's why you didn't want to go. That's the other reason you didn't want to go.
Yeah.
The second day was the 45, 50-minute ride. My fault. It was to Ocho Rios was an hour and 45
right.
each way.
2 hours. I called it 2 hours, but right.
I got about an hour and 45-minute nap on the way home too. So.
Right. So when we went to Chukka, we noticed some areas because when we went to Jamaica the last time, we went to Margaritaville. And so when we went past it, we noticed, we was like, oh, we know this area. So, but he explained some stuff.
On Hip Street.
Yeah. So we went to Chukka, and Chukka was, I don't know, I considered a small little property, but we had a good time. So you could do horseback riding, you could do the ATVs, you could do zip lining, you can do the party catamaran boat. They gave you lunch. And am I missing something?
They had other options they had, but I think you actually had to leave that place to go somewhere to do the paddle boat, the bamboo
raft,
boat,
the bamboo raft. Yes.
Oh, they also had motorized speedboats if you wanted to take those out too.
Okay. So y'all, I'm not adventurous, right? That's not what I do. But again, I'm taking one for the team. Anything for my kids, right? So I knew I wasn't doing no zip lining. Ain't happening. I don't like heights. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna save that for him. He likes to rock climb, and I ain't doing none of that. So I'm not doing that. ATVs. I did not know. I did not know when I signed up for this that I would be driving my own ATV. I thought I was gonna be just holding on to him, sitting on the back.
Holding on to all this.
I thought I was holding on, y'all, because I did it one time before with my best friend, and she rest in peace. I was on the back, and she talked me into it. I held on to her, okay, and I cussed the whole time. So I thought, okay, no problem. I did this before. I'm gonna hold on. No, I had to act so much so that when he was giving the directions on how to do the thing, I wasn't listening because I'm thinking, well, I need to know how to drive this thing because I'm not. Then he said, go get on your thing. I'm like, what? I was not even listening.
I told you that the day before.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, I did not listen. I don't know how to do this thing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to figure it out now. So he went over it a little bit again. So now I'm listening. So y'all, I had to get on that damn ATV and drive it by myself. Y'all, it was like somebody driving a stick shift. Like,
you had to change no gears.
But so much so that he stopped and came over to me and said, if you use your whole thumb.
Yeah.
But he ain't said that in the directions. I wouldn't be going. Y'all, oh my God. I'm like, I do not want to ride this thing. So when I used my whole thumb, as a matter of fact, when we was done, my thumb was so sore. So we riding ATVs, and then we come over to some water. Y'all don't like water. Y'all had a phobia of water as a kid. True story. I swear I'm telling you the truth. So we get ready. We on ATV. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to stir. Girl, this stuff was my whole body hurt, y'all, for a couple days after that. I'm trying to turn the thing. Then I see all these craters and these rocks. I'm thinking I'm ready to flip the thing over. Then we come to water. I went straight to panic mode. I was like, oh my God, I gotta cross the water. Oh my God, I was like, get out of your head, Karen, get out of your head. Just go. I went fast. Then I was like, what? It's going to be wet. What if you flip over? This is all that was in my head. I was like, why did I sign up for this? Then he says, and everybody needs to keep up. So I look, they all the way up there. I'm like, because I don't want to get in trouble for not keeping up. And I'm like, you ready to flip yourself? You know, I did not enjoy the ATV. But I did it. So when I was doing the ATV,
you were the whole reason that they decided to split us up.
That's a lie.
Yeah, okay.
That is a lie. That's a whole lie.
Okay.
Them girls behind me were slower. So what happened was, this is what happened.
It's the best thing that could ever happen.
She said, you ever fear water and went to an island on vacation. Yeah. I always like to go to the water vacation. I said I like to smell it. I like to hear it. Exactly. And I like the pool if there's a bar. So what happened was the girls were going slow, and those guys, they was ready. They ready to do wheelies, and he told them don't do no wheelies. So what they did was they split us into two groups. They put the girls on one side and the guys on the other. So the guys just took off. So we did that.
We laughed about 3-4 times.
Whatever. Whatever. I almost ran into the back of Esme once. Almost real bam. But okay, I survived, y'all. We did that. Then when you were doing a zip line, y'all, I did horseback riding, y'all.
Where'd you have to end up going?
Yo, in the water. I said,
up to your knees on the horse.
I said, sir, I don't know about this horse. I'm going to try. Yo, he treated me like I was 5. He held me the whole time. Everybody else was riding their horses. He took my string, the horses, what you call the reins, the string, the reins, and he held it and rode his horse, and he just carried me the whole time, the whole tour.
Come on, little girl, I got you.
Pretty much. So we going, and I'm just scared. Y'all was holding on. I said, why this saddle don't have like one of those hook things you hold on? He said, because that's an English saddle or something like that. So my thumbs was hurting because I was holding on for dear life. And I was like, oh my God. So then we had to get off and get on another horse and go through the water.
The ocean like that.
And y'all, I started to panic. I said to him, I feel like I'm ready to fall off. And he's just ignoring me. At this point, it's like, I am sick of this woman. And then these horses, they started making this noise. I don't know. I said, why are they making that noise? He said, that's what they do to help them breathe while they're in the water.
They're blowing out.
Oh my gosh, y'all, that was not fun for me. I don't know how I made it.
It was fun for me.
I would never get on a horse. You didn't see me. Oh, you saw me? Why did you take a video? See, y'all?
Tell me why. Please tell me why.
Oh, why? Because your phone was in your locker?
Because you said, I'm taking my camera. Yep. You said, I'm taking my camera. I'm going to take the video.
Well, I'm sitting on the horse. I tried.
You ended up trying to do some Bo Derek slow motion video.
That was a mistake, y'all. So I made it. So it was my son and myself. Everybody else rode their horses. He just pulled me along. And so he got a little tip. So I did the ATV and the horseback riding. They did the zip line. They said you tried to look like Spider-Man while you were doing the zip line, and your kids said you were doing all these flips. They said you did your knees all up in your stomach.
There wasn't no flip.
Okay, go ahead and explain.
The last part, there was 4 different zip lining parts. The last part, unless you're a very slight build person, you were either going to drag your feet in the water at the end or your butt. So every one of my kids said, how do we not do that? Because when Colin and Colby went through, they didn't touch the water because they're very slender. And sure enough, Caleb dragged his tail through the water, then Trayvon, and then Davon, even though they had instructions. She said, pull your knees all the way up and lean back. So guess what? I followed directions.
This time.
Oh my God.
All right, so that was that. And then the last part of this, and we're going to end this because we'll just come back, or I will tomorrow, with some travel tips because we've been over an hour. So the last part of this, Chukka, was the party catamaran boat.
Yeah.
It was not what I expected because I think it was the people. Because when my friend showed me his party boat pictures, they was on TN. Our people ain't danced, they ain't did nothing. Boring. Wow. And guess what, y'all? This is the part I didn't know. I didn't realize that. Well, did I know? I realized it once they told us. You get out there, they take you out in the water, and then you snorkel. Y'all know I'm not snorkeling, right? So I didn't get in the water. So I just sat up on the party boat and had a beer. And then they had a DJ. So and then I had a rum punch. Did I have a rum punch? I don't remember. But anyway, they got in the water, snorkeled, and I just sat there and I had a drink. Hey, Anne Marie, welcome. So, and Broken Garden laughing at your comment about some Bo Derek. So they got in the water, had their life vest on, whatever. They start swimming. I'm drinking. So now the drink's hitting because they're not watered down. So now I'm like, okay. So I get up dancing. I had some of the guys on the boat that are with the staff. I had them up there dancing. I should have recorded it and I forgot. And I said, oh my God, I missed an opportunity. And my son said, that's great. I said, why is that great? He said, so you could be in the moment. So he don't want me living my life through a lens. So I missed the recording of the guy doing all the dances for me. But that was my entertainment because everybody else was just sitting boring. And yeah. That was the party catamaran boat. So that wasn't exciting. Did you enjoy it? Tell your review. You're the one who was out there snorkeling. Tell them because I don't snorkel.
The snorkeling was fantastic.
Did you see any fish?
Sure.
Tell them because you didn't tell me.
I just saw there was a lot of small fish. It wasn't the best snorkeling I've ever been on. It was a relatively shallow reef, but you could see all the things, all the coral, different things growing on it, fan-like structures growing off of the stuff. Didn't really see any big fish, nothing more than maybe that size. And there were some different color fish, some bright blue fluorescent ones and a few yellow ones. Most of them were kind of grayish, kind of nondescript, not the normal saltwater bright colored fish, but just a few. So there wasn't as many fish as I was hoping to see. But it wasn't bad.
Okay.
It wasn't the best I've been.
Okay.
But it wasn't bad.
And how much? Oh, that was part of the how much we spent? $135 per person at 8 people. Y'all, that's a lot of money. Jeez. Okay, so let's end it with telling them how much we paid for this Holiday Inn resort in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Again, it was our very first time traveling for Christmas. Hi, J3GS. I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is, but hello. So it was our very first time traveling for Christmas. I told the travel agent, it was our first time. And so she told me it was going to be very expensive because it's Christmas and money wasn't a determining factor. And however, I didn't expect her to send me to this type of resort. She said it got good reviews and she had been to it herself. Well, I should have went and looked up the reviews myself because we did afterwards. It didn't have the best reviews. Out of a 1 through 5, I would give it a 2.5. I think it serves its purpose for someone that is really on a tight budget and they're with their kids and they're not looking for luxury and they're just trying to find something for the family to do. I would say it serves its purpose. But if you're looking for luxury, this ain't it. This ain't it. If you want to just gain access, this would be for you. But it ain't for me. So I would give it a 2.5. And then you tell us your number and then we'll tell them the price.
I mean, I could possibly get to a 3, but I'm hovering, I think, between a 2.5 and a 3. I don't even know if I can get to a 3. Um, when I've read, she didn't even read the reviews.
Because I'm trusting the travel agent.
I read a bunch of the reviews, but not before. I read them after.
After, not the trip, but after I already paid. That's what it means. Yeah, after I already paid.
Okay. And it's true what it says. I mean, if you're definitely, you know what you're getting. You're not getting a 5-star resort. It's almost double the price at Christmas time.
Yep.
So it gets you, if that's what you want to do is travel, it gets you there. Unless you're have it better than I have it. That's what we needed to do. But it also is about, it's true that you make out of your vacation, you get what you make out of it. So it was more about being able to be in the same place with our entire family, um, having them experience being on an island for the first time out of the country, in that type of a setting. So all those things created a lot of memories. I know it created a lot of memories for them. And then again, we got to do a couple of different excursions and see different things, to see more of the people and the culture outside of the actual resort. So that all made the trip worth it. But again, it doesn't take it away, because we absolutely have been to better resorts in terms of quality. Um, you know,
When you said see the people outside the culture, that would have been true if we went to Margaritaville, but everyone was so tired. Because when you go to do these excursions, all you're seeing is tourists. You see the people that work at the excursion places from the community. Like we had the stilt walker guy, but you're not really with the people because you're just going to a tourist attraction. So
you say so, but on the Dunn's River trip and that I went to, probably 75% of the people there were Jamaican.
Oh wow! See, I didn't get that experience, so I didn't know.
Even on the catamaran that we went, I wouldn't say half, but a quarter of the people who were Jamaican were locals.
And so that's another thing. If you're going to travel to Jamaica for Christmas, we did not know this until this happened because it's our first time. The majority of the people that will be at your hotel are people that are Jamaicans because they're coming back home for the holidays and they're staying at the hotel. So I noticed once Christmas was over, the the guests changed, meaning it was everybody looked like me. Like, oh my God, like what? I have never been to any resorts where everybody looks like me, meaning the tourists. But once Christmas was over, because we stayed past Christmas, it changed. And I was like, did you notice that? A lot of people from the UK come to these resorts too. And so I noticed a big cultural change once Christmas was over. One. Two, when we was talking to the Amstar representative, we were talking about how this resort sucked, and she just covered her face like this. And she said this would be the lowest one out of all the resorts because she's worked at them all. And she made some recommendations of some that she could recommend. But what she said was this: you could complain, she said, but there's so many people from other countries coming to this resort, such that it stays so full that they're not going to make any renovations. They're not going to make any changes. So that's what she said. So know that. I'm still going to leave my 2-star review. I'm still going to post my video because I walked from one end of the resort to the other, and I'm still going to post all of that because people need to be informed so that they can make an informed decision. For myself, that's not the resort for me. I will not be back, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone unless you want to gain access and you're on a tight budget and you're with a bunch of little kids. Don't take your teenagers because they're going to hate it. I met a couple people that are there with their teens. Their teens was in their room sleep, and the parents are out enjoying themselves because the teen sons were not enjoying it. So that is what I would suggest. Now let's talk about the price so we can let our guests go because we've been on here for a little while now. So if you go in the summer, which is their off-peak season, for a garden view style room at the Holiday Inn, that part. See, I should have knew that Holiday Inn. But when you added the word resort, I thought I was going to see something different. So if you stay at a garden view room at the Holiday Inn Resort, your room is going to be $199 a night. Plus, with fees and taxes, it comes out to be for 5 days, $1,669.02.
5 nights.
5 nights,
Right.
6 days. Okay? Because the 6th day, you can leave your luggage with the bellman in the room and you can still enjoy the facilities. You don't have to just leave. Okay? Which we did because our flight wasn't until late afternoon. So we did do that. We went to eat, and all that kind of stuff. And then that's another fee because you got to pay that bellman. But anyway, because this stuff adds up. Again, if you stay for 6 days, 5 nights during July, $1,669.02. If you stay for Christmas, their wintertime is their peak season, it was $2,731.92. Okay? Per room. We had 3 rooms. So our twins, of course, they're broke. So we had to pay for 4.
You say per room, but it averaged out. It averaged out to almost, for us, right around, with airfare, right around $2,000 a person.
$2,000 per person.
Yep.
So we're paying for the twins,
Christmas time.
the twins, my husband, and myself. Our other son, Caleb, he has a job, so he had to pay for himself. And then our 2 oldest sons, they have jobs, they pay for themselves. And then our oldest son's girlfriend, I guess she paid for herself or he paid for her. I don't know, that ain't none of my business. And the tripped out part, though, is our 23-year-old said, we said something about vacation where we're going to go next year, right? Because they talking about next year. And he said, we got to pay for vacation every year. The hell you think? You think we're going to pay your way? You have a whole job.
If you want to go.
If you want to go. If not, you're going to stay home. But that's what he said. He says, this is expensive. That's what he said.
But traveling at Christmas, the air flight tickets were jacked up.
Oh, so this didn't even include the airfare, y'all. That's just for your hotel accommodations, and that include our transfers. So that included transportation to and from the airport. So on top of that price, you got to also add your airfare, and then guess what? If you're going to go and do excursions, you got to add that. And guess what? You better take what? Stripper money, meaning what? You better have dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills, y'all. Strip club money. Tips. That's what I'm talking about. You got to tip. They expect tips and make you feel guilty if you don't give them a tip. Tell them what did the tour bus drive guy say to you? Was that you or Davon? He said, are you going to tip me? Yep, that's what he said. So they will ask for their tips. All right. So she said, adulting is hard. Exactly. Adulting is hard. He said to me, we got to do vacation every year. This is expensive. But yet and still, we pay for it. Oh, he'd be all for it.
And again, because we never traveled at Christmas,
Never.
we ran into a problem when we got to the airport with parking.
Oh,
We almost didn't find a place to park to be able to catch our flight. Most of the parking lots around the airport were taking reservations. We didn't have one. We
I
didn't
didn't
know
know.
anybody.
I didn't know.
We ended up going to an express lot that the guy told us was almost full, and it was full when we got there. We literally had to move orange cones to make ourselves a parking place, and then had to worry the whole time we were away
My car was gonna be
whether or
towed.
not our car was going to be there when we got back.
Because
fortunately, it was.
we didn't know if the orange cones meant someone reserved that space. It was his idea, not mine, y'all. Until we kept circling and circling.
Remember, I don't follow the
He
rules.
doesn't follow the rules. He said, well, we want to move one of the orange cones. I'm like, well, what if it's somebody's reservation? And then I guess he felt like, it ain't our problem. We got to go catch this flight. So we moved the cones, and there was an older Caucasian woman driving a car, and she now saw us what we did, and she pulls up and says, y'all found a spot. She knew what we did. She was like, well, I don't know what to do. So one of my kids said, I'll move this cone for you. And then she parked herself right in there too. So we caught our flight. And when we got back, fortunately, our vehicle was still there. So yeah, so if you're traveling for Christmas and you've never done it before, and you're planning on leaving your vehicle, then go ahead and make yourself a reservation with the car place. Our other son parked at the daily rate place. He paid $12 a day. We paid what, $10 a day?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was our Christmas Jamaica vacation experience. I will come back tomorrow with some travel tips. But that really does complete our review for the Holiday Inn.
And I just have one more comment.
Sure, go
Since
ahead.
I won't be here tomorrow.
No, don't play with me. If you're here, you're gonna go ahead and join me.
And talking with the Amstar travel guy when we booked our excursions, we were talking about different resorts. So if you are somebody that has, you may already know this, but if you have never been to an island or Mexico all-inclusive resort, it's interesting the way she described it. She said you're almost never going to find a place, a resort that has everything you want. She said, so you have to decide whether or not you're looking for high quality food, because if you get a place that has high quality food, they're probably not going to have the best entertainment. If you're looking for the best entertainment and can accept mediocre food, then that's the resort you need to look for. So you're almost never going to find, even the 5-star is primarily based on food and not necessarily entertainment. We know that in the Unlimited Vacations brand, which is Secrets and Zoetry, they have an adults only called Breathless.
Oh,
we know that. Just from experience that the Breathless had the same quality food as Secrets, but they had much better entertainment for young adults, which we are, of course.
What's some of the entertainment since you brought up? So one of the things I enjoy, because I already told y'all, I like the pool bar. I swear I want to hang out the whole time. Just find me at the pool bar. Like they do the whole foam parties. I don't know why I'm loving the foams. Like I just love the whole foam thing. The foam, the drinks, the pool bars where all the cool people are, all the happening people, all the live people. It's just a party at the pool bar. And when we go on vacation, that's where we go. And we've met people, and guess what? Become friends with them, and we've traveled together. Meet them at the pool bar. It's always a party, y'all. That is my spot. So you just give me that, I'm good. But tell them some of the other entertainment. They do adult entertainment. So they did something like couples like game show. Like tell them, because I don't remember them.
I don't remember at all either. It was they had different things scheduled throughout the whole day. They had
Broken Garden. Thank you for joining.
They had a lot more events like for adults, like yoga, different types of exercise. They even had Zumba. You remember that?
Yes.
They had Zumba at different times in the mornings. They just had more things throughout the entire day for adults that were scheduled. They always had some type of nightly entertainment with singing and dancing, some type of a show. So it was just a lot more scheduled entertainment at the Breathless brand versus the Secrets brand.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. And again, I'm going to come back tomorrow with some of travel tips. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And as always, please remember there's 86,400 seconds in every day. Make every second count. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. All right. Bye, y'all.
Peace.